Population growth, 5 reasons the North outnumber the South. Population growth is something that needs to be monitored and controlled, especially in a country like Nigeria, where demands by the masses are extremely higher compared to the resources available. Well, that's the basic economic problem, isn't it? This consequently leads to competition and survival of the fittest. Weak population die of hunger and poverty, while the strong financial population survive. In Nigeria today, our population is growing exponentially, especially in the northern part of our country. The birth rate is multiplying every single day. This leads to so many accusations and allegations among Nigerians. The Southerners are blaming people from the north for rampant childbirth, while Northerners accuse Southerners for looting their money. The question is, what is responsible for the high population in the north, the high number of children per family? Why is it that the population is unequally distributed? Why the number of children in the northern Nigeria are far more than ones in the south? Well, here are many solid reasons why there is high population in northern Nigeria, and from these reasons we are literally going to analyze them bit by bit. First of all, availability of food and agriculture in the north. One of the major responsibilities of a father is to provide for his family. Food is not a problem in the north. Most northerners are farmers. They farmed what they will eat for the whole year, no matter the numbers in the family. There will be enough food to sustain the family. This type of people have no reason to engage in family planning or limiting the number of children that will be given birth to. Well, is it though? Because again, economists would argue that signs of a developed or developing state is that, first of all, the birth rate is extremely high, but then if you compare it to the education rate, it is very low. And again, the mortality rate is also very much high statistically. So again, it's like, okay, because again, if the mortality rate is high, it means, because again, if you look at the statistics of the population of Nigeria, almost more than 50% are literally from 20 to their 40s. Actually, wait, because I think when we look at Nigeria, we have so much young people. Our aging population, well, the older generation are very, very, very young. I mean, life expectancy is very, very low in comparison to other developed countries. But then again, you would argue that what kind of statistics are they carrying? If you don't even know how many people are in the country, how can these statistics be given? But if I just search up Nigerian population data, you'd find that, actually we're 201 million, but let's look at the ratio of men to women and age. So the highest is from 0 to 4. This is from population of Nigeria from 2017. So the highest population is from 0 to 4. And for boys, it's about 16 million. From girls, it's about 16 million. Where everything starts to boil down, which is, because again, if you look at the image of life expectancy, it goes drastically low as from 50. From 80 to 84, there's literally nothing. Like 100,000, which is very, very, very low. So again, it's like when you have a high mortality rate, of course, it's expected that the rate of birth would obviously be high. So yeah, that's basically it. Number 2, religious influence. 60% or 60 to 70% of Northerners are Muslims, and Islam permits marrying more than one wife. One could have as much as 4 wives. Each of them could give birth to children, thereby adding to the already exponential population. Islam also discourages limiting the number of children one could have unless in case of health complications or difficulty. But then again, it's like, listen, as we know from history, when you give us a lot of children, it's because, one, mortality rate is high. Second of all, you need laborers to basically help you work. And this was basically a way of adding to the economy, which you can say, yes, the family is a very, when it comes to sociology, sociologists will say the family is a very important part of the making up of a society or a country, which is very much important as well. So again, when it comes to religion, yes, that is very, very true. If the religion there is more than 50% of people practicing it, and that permits that you marry more than one wife, well, of course, child rearing will continue. So yeah. Someone says number 3. Well, actually, no, the third option is culture and tradition. Culture as the way of life of people has great influence when it comes to population because culture is everything in the north. It determines every single aspect of life. Hausa culture is one of the many cultures that encourages marrying many wives and giving birth to children. Northern population is dominated mostly by Hausas. All right. And lastly, simple life and contentment. People in the north live a simple life without demanding for luxury. Many of them live in an area where they hardly see electric light, let alone owning cars and tall houses. Life in the north is simple with very low demand. They don't bother about becoming rich, and so they don't limit the number of their children, not to talk of easing the burden on top of their head. Well, again, it's like how, again, it's not just, sometimes it's not really quantity but quality. What is the quality of life? Again, we say food, but then when it comes to, their economics, when it comes to, life expectancy, I'm not saying just teenage years. I'm talking about till the aging population. These are things we need to take into consideration as well. Well, let's look at the comment section. And before we go into that, let's just understand that. No, let's go into the comment section first. So somebody says contentment is part of it. The best place to live is the north apart from religion. I love living there. Well, I mean, I guess, again, culture, if you're not willing to, again, maybe we're just in a culture where going big, doing the most, getting the most cars, looking flashy is an indicator that you're living well. And really, it might not be. But then again, if you look at the security issues there, you can argue that do they really have peace of mind? So yeah, except they're just used to it and they don't really care. Again, the contentment is sort of just something that, I mean, I guess everyone to themselves. I mean, for some people, they just don't understand when there's a potential for you to do more and you choose not to. But then again, if that's how you choose to live, it's your prerogative and that is your right. Somebody says the north lack planning. Having many children is never an achievement as long as you cannot care for them. What is the gain of benefit? Having kids you're not proud of. It's not necessarily kids you're not proud of, but then again, the view, we're trying to be as developed as we can. Again, when it comes to feeding, look at the Amarjori system. The Amarjori system was meant to be an education system, but then the way we see it, we obviously with enforcement of stereotypes, we see it as children who are homeless, orphans who don't have anything to eat, who are just on the street. So again, it's like there are things that really contradict each other. To be honest, I would say apart from the security issues, maybe it's a good place to live. That's it. I honestly, with the way things are going, I can't even say anything about it because again, when you think of the north and south of Nigeria, the south of Nigeria sort of is like the representative of the whole of Nigeria at large when it comes to the world view. Of course, but then when it comes to the detrimental African, malaria, sickness, poverty, that's where the north sort of fits into that narrative. So again, it's hard to compare and contrast, but then again, understanding the way that we relate or we don't relate, that sort of gives significance to the fact that we don't even know what their life is like. We don't even know what the average northerner thinks like or what their life is like. We just see the headlines and that brings or justifies the argument that we have two different countries in one. Put what you think in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.